Trident Wargaming. Build it, paint it, play it.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Trident Wargaming. This is Season 3, that's a wrap episode. It's wrapping up that sweet 2023 year. It's been a wild year for us here at Trident. And you've got the whole fucking crew here today. You've got Bill, Arthur, Scott, Andy. And actually it's the first time in a long time we've all been on together, which is awesome.
We need like that 2003 NHL style, like do. You all ready for this?
Oh God!
Because all of us are here.
That's
We're all ready
true.
for a new
It's true.
year of Warhammer, Wargaming, and other fancy stuff.
Yeah.
We have to announce the starting lineup.
That's true. Yeah, a new year of gaming, a new year of events, debauchery, podcasts, videos, all sorts of things. Live on
My
location.
big wonder
from the
is,
grotto.
in the new year, what is our second soundboard item going to be? And why is it not... Somebody... Which one of you motherfuckers disabled the uwu sound?
I don't even know how to work that right now, so that wasn't me.
There it is.
There it is. There
you go.
Awesome. Well, this is preemptive. We're going to be going on our holiday break here, so this is kind of Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, all that fun stuff to all the listeners out there. We're going to be taking some much-needed R&R. We've been going as hard as we can, dropping weekly podcasts, cranking out events, hobby progress, posting weekly, almost every day on our socials. It's been busy. It's been a busy year. Just kind of going through some of the, the posts, favorite posts and whatnot. It's been a lot of fun. We brought Scott and Arthur in halfway through the year, I believe, and it felt like it just threw fuel onto the fire. It's kind of just hit like the NOS button, and it feels like we've ramped up and we're doing more than we ever have before. So it's great. I'm really pumped about that.
Yeah, we were hitting at least one event a month.
Yeah,
sometimes more.
I feel like it was like an event would be like an event every weekend for 4 weekends, and then nothing for a little bit.
well, that was just to save myself from divorce. Yeah, basically. So, but yeah, no, you're not lying.
So
What?
one of the announcements that Trident's going to announce here is in the new year we're starting our line of like Trident Wives socials that happen at the same time as the tournaments.
Oh, that would be good.
No,
The Trident Day Spa,
the
Yeah.
Trident Day Spa,
the Trident Grotto.
where the word Warhammer is outlawed.
Yes.
Oh, that would actually probably be a hit.
The Wife Hammer corner.
Wife hammer. There we go.
Where's the ooh sound button now?
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. So, I guess kicking things back to what we always do, hobby progress, if we want to jump off. I guess I can start with some of that. For me, hobby progress has slowed a little bit. I'm actually coming up to the final end of my shit show that's been happening in my basement. I had a big flood. This happened way back in July. It's been like almost 6 months of just constant repairs and fixing. My hobby room has just been a complete mess, and my kids took over now that I have the new flooring in there, the made little forts. But the war room is well on its way to being completely redone for the new season coming up. We're going to be having a lot of cool stuff happening inside of it. Yeah, I'm trying to get it all set up, the lighting, everything for games, streams, podcast, everything that I can do. You'll notice the Iron Warrior banner's gone. It's just been moved. It's not gone forever. And it's replaced with a nice, cool Trident Wargaming banner. I got it custom done. You'll be seeing that bad boy at events. Just, yeah, really excited to see that thing up now, and it finally made its way over from Russia. It took forever, but It's nice.
From Russia with love.
It's true. It's true. So yeah, the hobby progress hasn't been huge. You've been kind of keeping up. I've been working on Beta Marines, getting everything ready for our Beta campaign, which is definitely starting to ramp up. It's a lot of excitement about it, so I'm looking forward to it. And that's really been it for me. Who else wants to chat about their hobby progress?
Andy.
Yeah. Well, actually, haven't really been doing too much painting or anything, but just building multiple armies, multiple units, AoS, some more Marines to build for Beta, of course. And of course some terrain, working on a lot of terrain for AoS for our upcoming event in the new year as well.
Hammerhal Brawl.
So yeah, there you go. And
to Ryan for naming that once again. What a genius.
Yeah.
A scholar.
Mm-hmm.
The hero we needed.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a lot of bits and bobs, trying to clear the desk and finish some projects and not try to start any new ones as I'm pulled away by something, the new shiny. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. No real completions of anything, just a little bit more progression.
That's all right.
That's good.
I think the white scars might have burnt me out a little bit.
How many Necrons have you built? How many Necron lists have you assembled in your mind? And why have you not touched a single AdMech model despite the codex dropped?
No, that's not true. That's not true at all. I put together 3 Cataphren the other day that have just kind of been
sitting around.
sitting
those
there. Sitting
New
there, yeah.
80 mil bases or what?
Oh my god, be 120s by the end of 10th. No, I've actually my hobby is torn like in every which direction right now, because like I tend to paint stuff just when I feel like it, which actually was AdMech stuff, but I do have a bunch of Necron stuff I have to get redone, and then I've also got this Bad Ab stuff on the go. So it's a bit like all over the place right now. So I got a couple of ballistas that I'm working on, and my new / old heavy destroyers, because I still have old destroyer models, and I'm finally getting some of the new ones to replace. Yeah, they're old. And then I got those Cataphrens going, and then like I still actually haven't even gotten the stuff, like the new stuff from the Codex releases. So I've got some stuff to pick up there in the next week or two, all of which is fine.
That lone operative AdMech dude that's on stilts with the plug.
You bet. There's one of those on the order, so he'll get painted up real soon. But yeah, as soon as that stuff's in, basically, I'll be all over that. So progress is being made on a lot of stuff, but it's all like it's not attached to one army. It's a little bit of each, because that's just where my hobby is right now. So. A lot of work on my AoS army, of course. Just kidding.
Have many successful wars been waged on multiple fronts?
Not around my house, but best of luck to you guys if you have.
I actually admire all three of you for your hobby progress. My hobby progress is still slow. It's still I don't have that desire, right? So I know we talked on the last episode about how if it's not there, it's not there for me, and it's still not there. Maybe the Tau book will change that. If that Tau book is as broken as I hope it will be, you will see a return to 40k. You will see hundreds of dollars dropped. I will flesh out that army and finish painting it. If it is Eldar 2.0.
But they've got so many nice Lumineth models right now.
You know what? That's true. And I still love playing them. I will be at Hammerhal Brawl with a techless 2,000 army, right? Hoping that there's an uneven amount of players so I can get in there. The only thing that makes TO better is when you get to TO and play as the ringer. Makes those hours drag by a little bit less.
Yeah, they do blow by. They certainly do.
True. I hear that's the best part of TOing.
Just kidding. I hope that we do not have an uneven amount. But on the hobby front, I'm still lagging behind, slacking, which isn't really uncommon for me in the fall months. Usually it picks up around now, but we'll see. We're hoping.
Christmas break starts for you in a couple days. Who knows?
I did order a box of models.
Oh, which
They were
ones?
not Sigmar models. They were 40k models.
My
Okay.
goodness.
They're scorpions.
Scorpion.
They were the Scorpions.
That's right.
So there is a world where maybe that's the gateway ticket back in.
Arthur is actually a nom de guerre. Arthur's real name is actually Ahura or whatever, the Scorpion Exarch or Phoenix Lord. That's who he actually is. When he disappeared in the Eldar lore, he became Arthur, and he's been desperately trying to make striking scorpions work for a long time. So, new models, new attempt, right?
I mean, last time I checked, they worked in a few of the games we played. I remember striking a Scorpion Exarchs really making you sad. So,
Yeah, they sure do. They sure do.
Well, that's good to hear.
you know, looking back though at the last year, I think I don't have a lot of hobby progress this month. I wonder if we were to measure who assembled the most models out of the four of us. Is it me?
Oh, it's
Is
you.
it Bill?
Maybe not. I don't know. It's definitely not me. I can say that.
I don't know. We might be tied.
Mm.
There was a lot of shit. A ton of heresy. There was I don't know.
I guess this coming year,
Yeah.
you guys will have to track. Everybody has to take a tally.
Yeah.
Tally
That'll
as you
be,
build. Put it on the wall.
I think they're the most Wraith Knights.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, well yeah, obviously.
Painted? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
been
why
a while.
don't we segue that into let's talk about last year.
Yeah.
Well, I guess before that, we should talk and wish like Merry Christmas, Happy New Year for this year.
It's true.
Hope everyone had a happy Hanukkah. Yeah, but actually, let's touch it because I know we did do an episode at the start of last year about some hobby goals. Not just hobby goals, I guess, but some game goals. And Andy unfortunately wasn't with us there, although he can chime in and let us know how he feels about his year anyhow during this kind of touch base here. But the other three of us were there, so let's review that a little bit and see how it went. I did
have goals, so
yeah, he's got goals, so there you go.
I'm
actually sorry, go ahead, Andy.
No, I think me and Bill did a cast with mine.
Oh, okay, well there you go. So
Yeah,
you've
we
got
did.
a list even.
Yeah, or a post or something, but
It was a post
Um,
up 2023 hobby challenge thing.
hobby goals or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the guy I want to start with though is Bill, because I loved his list from last year because he kept adding more and more things to it. But also I know that with how Bill is for his hobby, and I said it actually in the cast going back and looking at it, that I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if he finished all of these by like August. So let's review and see how Bill actually did. Bill, at the top of your list was getting your Imperial Fists done for last year's LVO.
And I did do that. I
You
did get
did?
that done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wanted to get your Zone Mortalis board done and ready.
I did not get that done. I do have my Necromunda terrain built though.
How much of that is just your Zone Mortalis board bastardized into Necromunda?
Hey! I also built a lot of Necromunda stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. Did get some stuff done on that though.
You had kind of an ambiguous stretch. You originally said you were wanting to get your CSM caught up, which kind of, you wanted to get some units, fleshing out that army a bit and stuff. But then you actually said, well, I don't know, maybe that'll actually segue more into me working a lot on my executioners. And then right at the end, you and Arthur had a little bit of a banter about him buying your Dark Eldar. And it's funny because, of course, the army that you actually did basically build from the ground up was your Dark Eldar.
That is true. That is true. Looking at my little...
Did he finish them?
They are battle ready.
He did.
$33, and that's the most I'll
Oh, God. Never. It keeps getting lower every time we talk.
He didn't say he had to finish them. He said he wanted to get them caught up.
Ready. Yeah, looking at my 2023 goals here, it was definitely rough. I did not get my my Germans ready for slow go, like painted wise. I did get them all built and assembled, which was nice, but not actually painted, which kind of sucked. We did host Iron Within event, which was awesome. Very successful.
Got your 20 tables ready for that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Scott really enjoyed organizing all the terrain again after that. I think he said it was his favorite part.
Do you think he enjoyed that more or less than building wood terrain, which he is very good at?
Ooh.
Oh, I'll look back at it as one of the summers of my life, for sure.
Well, you know who else was a carpenter?
Yeah,
Jeez.
nailed it.
Oh wow. I did play in at least 3 events this year. They happened to be primarily 40k events, but I did sprinkle action around a little bit. My CSM army backlog built and painted. Yeah, I didn't really do that. I did though get my Drukhari army built up and battle
like
ready.
A full 2K. Yeah,
full 2K battle ready. A little bit more actually than 2K because I was going hard on witches and then found out that they were terrible. And yeah, I don't need 5 venoms. I only ran 1 so far, but that's fine. I got room to expand.
I've got another top 10 build moment of 2023 here for you. You lost your virginity again. You played in a team tournament.
It's true. For the first time.
And now that you're playing Badab, you're going to regain your virginity.
Just so I can lose it again. It's better the second time, I hear.
That way, then he'll have sunk low enough that he'll finally be allowed to buy an AoS army.
If I was going to get an AoS army, it'd probably be the Flesh Eater Courts. Just saying.
Those new models are fantastic.
Oh, they're sick. They're sick. Yeah, get backlog for Iron Warriors built and painted. That's a funny one.
That happened.
It kind of happened, and then I actually sold the army.
Yeah.
I got pissed off. I chased that true scale dragon. I blame Dustin and Chris as the enablers. And at the same time, though, I thank them because it's probably the best thing I ever did was get rid of the army. It opened the way for true scale for my Imperial Fists. And it lets me actually restart my Legion. But it probably will be primarily 40k. Iron Warriors, I always want to have an army of them. They're just great in the lore, but I think 40k is going to be where I shine with them. Finish the FLG terrain backlog. Hell yeah, we did. And Scott put together so many MDF buildings. He was good at. He was very good at it.
Some of my fingers are still glued together.
That's what I heard. Yeah, legend has it. And expand the table to 20 tables plus mats. Actually, we ended up going overboard on that. We had, I think, 24 in total, which is awesome. Blew that out of the water. Build and paint
all the terrain. That's 24 good tables.
That's good tables. Yeah.
There was extra terrain that we could make Planet Bowling Ball on probably another 5 tables, if not more.
Oh,
yeah,
easy.
for sure. There's definitely some not 40k suited terrain that you could throw out.
Thought and plan and put into current that we have, right, to make it good for the players at events and tourneys and whatnot.
Absolutely.
If you're paying big money to go to a premium event, there should be premium terrain.
There should. Did you get that Reaver Titan built?
I did not get that Reaver Titan built, and actually Little Billy was very upset about that. He wants me to build it really bad, and I think I'm going to actually make that a thing next year. It's a big project to kind of get it done. I'm going to end up stripping my my armor cast Warhound because it's in Legio Krytos colors, and I'm actually going to paint both of them in Legio Ignatum to kind of reflect my new Titanicus Legio. Just like the punchy paint scheme a little bit more, just a little more vibrant, lets me play around with some colors. So I did not get that done, and I did not paint and build my Word Bearers Army for Heresy. I actually sold that too. So all I have left is my Imperial Fists, and no regrets, honestly. Just based on how Heresy is right now for me and locally. Gonna be putting that baby on the back burner for a little bit and really focusing on 40k, and we are gonna be dabbling more in Necromunda. So that'll be a lot of fun.
How'd your year go?
A lot of hit and miss, but not too bad. I guess starting off, my bolt action DAC army for slow grow. I actually did get that painted.
Nice.
Fair bit before the slow grow was finished. So which the bolt action slow grow was actually quite successful, which was nice to see. I mean, we came out strong right off the bat. They had like 18 players come out the first couple days of slow grow, and then people just kind of petered off a little bit, but kept it going strong till the very end. So that was good. My Horus Heresy Thousand Suns army did not get finished, and they also took flight. I actually let them go to the same guy who bought my Ultramarines. So
there you go. Okay. Just
so went to a good home. It was fun painting the army, but just lost interest in it, and
that never happens.
No, there were some nice conversions I did in the army and stuff, and I was glad I did it, and the guy really liked it, so I said, why not? Building 5+ terrain boards for bolt action events. Well, I didn't get 5, but I got 3.
Gorgeous boards, though.
Many months of building the D-Day boards for the event that we did. Everybody did love the boards, even you guys, obviously.
Yeah.
But a lot of passerbyers that were just kind of blown away and whatnot. And I guess one really good takeaway from that, even though I didn't finish 5 of them, originally the main idea was to build this large, 12-foot table that you were able to modularly put together as one consistent beach landing board. And for what the whole idea of it was better to make the pods of tables that you can bust out at any time, but still gave the feel of theme and the event and whatnot. So I know me and Bill had a long discussion about that, and when I first started doing the first 2-foot section of the board, I realized that I would not finish this. It'd be great to have as a personal piece, but no place to store it. So it would be on that back wall somewhere. But so 3 out of 5, not bad, pretty good. I'm good with it. So
you're happy with it?
Yeah. Start of a second bolt action army. I did start building my British. I never did complete it though, so it's kind of in the mix between the other systems that currently trying to work on. So ongoing with that. My German Winter Army backlog, I got a few units fixed up and cleaned up, so scratch that one off. U.S. Victory at Sea fleet painted, that's a no. And jumping back into 40k and summoning some demons.
That happened. I know it did.
It did happen. It slowed down. It slowed down a fair bit, as you guys know. I haven't played 40k as of late much, but I did start playing some demons in AoS. So
I was gonna say you just summoned them into AoS instead.
Yep, but we'll obviously talk about that kind of stuff later. But definitely concentration on 2 other systems in the new year. And then, I think it was prepared for the February event we had with the bolt action. Definitely was there. So, not too bad. Some hits, a couple of misses. Some of these I don't even remember, but
It's been a long year.
I probably had like a big meal and just passed out on the couch or something.
We need to make Trident Wargaming vision boards.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
So
Arthur.
Yeah.
Well, Scotty, do you have my goals written down? Did you take those from the video earlier?
I did.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
If I'm not mistaken, I wanted to win a best painted.
You
I
did.
wanted to win a best sport, and I wanted to win a best general. Was there anything else on there?
No, that you said you were going to keep it short and simple.
Okay.
It was all about
I won
hitting
more
them
than one
events.
best painted. I actually went on a streak, and I think I won like 8 in a row.
Yep.
So we can check that off as
best painted
to be
8 in a row.
continued. To be continued.
Yeah, and then my Jukari came out.
Okay.
They're not ready yet.
Settle
They're
down.
not ready.
Settle down. I wanted to win a best sport. and I think they failed at that. I think my partner carried our way to best sport in a doubles match, because I definitely yelled at someone, and I won the award for most salty gamer of Trident Wargaming 2023.
There's worse prizes and awards you can
Yeah,
win.
there's a power bottom award.
There's worse.
That was Scotty in that match with those Necrons, where I didn't lose a single model, and he lost every single one of his.
I was the one taking the hits, yeah. If anybody listening ever wants to get the backstory on Arthur's adventures, let me tell you, you buy him a beer, you sit him down, and he'll tell you things you can't imagine. So
You can't unhear.
It takes 2 beers.
2 beers. Sorry, my bad.
Whatever you do, don't get him a milkshake.
It's a single bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and he'll be
I just
off.
bought some on Saturday. It's party time.
And you had one more goal.
Yeah, and that was to win a tournament. And I think I took home 2 best generals this go around. One for a doubles event, again, kind of carried by Scotty and his mental fortitude there. And the second one was definitely carried by the Eldar Codex at a Red Claw event.
I mean, I don't like books can be OP, but at the end of the day, you still got to win. You know.
Well, if you look at that Red Claw trophy, the belt that has everyone's name on it, you can kind of track Codex release schedule on it, right? Some people won one when the Tau book came out. I think you lost the finals to that. Another person won when the NIDS book came out. I think you lost the finals to the...
Why are you bringing this up, Arthur?
Someone won one when the Eldar book came out.
To hurt me?
Yeah.
It's okay. I got on the belt, and it wasn't even during a Codex release. So.
That's true. It's true.
So I think it was successful 2023. I did meet the goals I set out. And then if we look at like hobby released goals, I kind of expanded on the Eldar. I did not finish the Tau. I got into a whole new game and did not finish painting an army for it. I learned a ton of hobby stuff, right? From Adepticon to even just learning stuff. Some of the best resources you can find in the hobby are your friends. Everyone has different techniques. They can show you this little trick or that little trick. So I learned how to use a milliput in a way I hadn't used before, and I embraced the world of 3D printing in a way that I hadn't before. That definitely upped my game a bit.
All through the power of friendship.
All through the power of friendship. So it's been a successful year. I don't know what goals to set for next year. We'll have to wait and see for that episode.
I think you need to be in the right frame of mind to really think like, this is what I want to do that year kind of thing, right? So,
yeah.
That's fair.
Make that Trident Wargaming vision board.
And that just leaves me.
Yeah.
I had a few. Not many. I also am kind of short, although at least one of mine was pretty nebulous. That had to do with the dreaded pile of shame. And like the reason why I chose it is because I'm actually a guy who rarely ever has much of a pile of shame. I just don't carry a lot of stuff that I don't plan to build or whatever, right? But I was looking at it last year and being like, there is not that much stuff that I actually have to do. But I'm going to buy new stuff, and I knew I would. And I gave myself an out, and that was that I said specifically that anything I picked up in the last 2 weeks of the year didn't have to be done by the end of the year, which is really good because all the stuff that I'm getting for AdMech and Necrons, I am not getting in time to have to worry about finishing that for the end of the year. But I can say that goal has not been reached. But again, I'm even closer than I was last year. I literally have those 3 Cataphrons and the 2 Ballistas and the 2 Heavy Destroyers. Like, I have almost nothing that is not painted in my room. And some of that stuff will honestly be done by the end of the year. It's possible it all is. And the reason why I set that is because, like, I can then be the guy who's like, yeah, I don't have a pile of shame, and really hoard that or hold that over the rest of you guys. So it is not currently done. But
what about your base sizes? Are they all correct?
They sure aren't, and that's going to be a goal for 2024. But they sure aren't right now. Arthur could make this a 3-hour podcast by getting me started talking about that, so we're just going to leave that one alone. Anyhow, my other goal, like Arthur mentioned there, was to pick up a GT win. My friends give me a lot of flack for winning a lot of games. They're mostly lying. I do win a few. I have a few event wins under my wing, but I actually, fun fact, haven't actually picked up a GT win in quite some time. I don't think I had a GT win in 9th, and I haven't had one in 10th yet. I do have a lot of second places, but I've always run into one thing or another that got in the way. So that was a goal that I had going into the year. It's a bit of a weird one because I definitely didn't get a GT win this year, although according to some sources I did eventually finish first in one of the GTs I went to where somebody may or may not have been disqualified but wasn't, but was. Anyway, I don't really count it.
The team tournament, it was a 2-day 5-game event that we took first place in. Does that count?
Yeah, kind of. I guess a little bit. But there were some other RTTs that I had some success in. So, like, all said, I did have a pretty good year on the tabletop. So I certainly don't want to complain about it. I just didn't reach that ultimate goal. But hey, we got more coming up next year. We're always chasing after it. Sometimes it's better not to achieve a goal because it keeps you motivated. So I certainly will be happy to keep rolling on that.
Awesome. Very nice. That was it for your goals?
Yeah, the one was pretty broad. Pile of shame. So
pile of shame. We all have it.
Not for long.
Some of us bigger than others.
Hey, here's one question for the group here. Hands up if you sold an entire army this year.
Oh.
So maybe that should be my goal. Maybe I should try to sell an army next year so I can be in the cool club with all you guys.
That's right. Well, to echo, if you're ever afraid about selling an army, to echo Kenny Boucher, who actually gave me a lot of insight into this, is look at the army as is, as a snapshot in time of where you were. And if it doesn't immediately bring you joy to keep, sell it, and then you can recycle that cash to fund something else that you can paint and have for
Wasn't there an
yourself.
influencer that said something similar of like, does this spark joy? And if not, fucking eat it. But not in those words.
Something. There's a cleaning lady that Molly listens to that she's like, you should hear this girl. I'm like, no, I don't want to, because it's just trying to convince me to clean my.
It's very minimal.
My pile of shame out.
Entire Warhammer room spark joy for Molly.
That's quite irrelevant because this is my Warhammer room.
Well, if I were to think about which ones I have, I actually don't want to sell any of them. But if I were, the one that gets the most compliments when it's on the table beside Arthur's models is my Necrons. So I probably get the most money for them. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're pro painted. Throw that shit on eBay.
Is that a rip?
So before, we're gonna talk a little bit in this episode about our plans for next year. But before we do have one other event or one other kind of little thing we want to review instead of preview. And that was, of course, our Trident Social.
Absolutely,
build,
absolutely.
Right? We had just 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, whatever.
3 weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
It was a while ago.
It was
By
some
the time
time
that they
ago.
get this episode, it was last year.
In the past.
It was great. The Trident Social, I think, honestly, was super successful. We had a total of 30 people come out for dinner and trivia and drinks. There was probably around 30, 35 people that all kind of were coming and going for the bit swap bazaar kind of buy, sell, trade little session that we had going on. I think 90% of everything was Aiden's stuff because he had like just oodles of tables set up, and I was like, I couldn't believe he fit that much shit inside his car. Like it must have looked just packed.
Speaking of piles of shame.
Yeah, just packed. And I do remember him taking pictures, and I was like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. Mine's a little bigger, but that's okay.
Still, it's not the size. It's not the size.
That's right. It's the quality. It's quality of the bits.
Your for sale group was much smaller than his, though. So.
Yeah, it was. Well, everything was packed up. I couldn't pack it out, but.
Yeah. Excuses.
The Trident Social though was super good, and I will probably
Here,
do
I
my
got a question
damnedest
for
to
the
get it
group.
going again.
I got a question for the group. What was your favorite part? What do you think the best thing about the Trident Social was? Why should someone come to it next year? Andy, you're first.
You know what? Just to interact more with the guys that you're, other than just gaming as well, right? There's a couple guys that I was able to sit down with and chat with that I never really have done with, right? Like we're all have games in common. It was mainly guys from the 40k area of gaming, and maybe a couple of heresy guys. Not too many bolt action crew came down, or even did come down, but yeah, just hanging out with everybody, kind of getting to chat with them, seeing where they're kind of at, whatever, right? Just sharing stories. It was great to see Dave and Leanne there from Red Claw and whatnot. That was super cool. A couple of the other players that come down to the club all the time. It's awesome to see them there too.
Seeing
Lots
people was the best
of
part.
laughs, and then of course getting acquainted too with their other halves as well, right?
Getting
Dustin,
to know some people, yeah.
yeah, Dustin introduced us to his wife and whatnot. And, it's nice to just interact with everybody else and have a good time.
What do you think the best part of it was?
Sorry, who are you asking?
Scott, what do you think the best part of the social was?
It was the trivia for sure. Kidding me? That's awesome.
Did you do well at the trivia?
Well,
did you participate? Because
I didn't play. I didn't play because obviously I made part of it, and also even if I hadn't, let's be honest, would there be any contest? Probably not. I'm actually thrilled with some ideas I got too. Like, I'd love to do that even more so next year, and I think it was a lot of fun, and we should double down on some games, because I think that's a super fun way to kind of get everyone involved and stuff. Seeing old and new faces is always really nice. So that's cool, and a bit swap is always a good time. But for me, just being able to kind of interact with a lot of these people in a new sort of way, and also to see kind of like some of the other halves and the families and friends be able to kind of get involved with all the gamer guys was kind of cool,
Yeah. No,
Billy?
I'll echo that as well. Having that sense of community that we've been trying to push the whole year, and like that we've been pushing since Trident's really started, seeing it actually come to life at the social was the best part. Having everybody show up. Yeah, we had spouses show up, we had friends show up, some people who played, some people that don't play. We had a killer meal that was put on by Foe. It was excellent food, and the drinks were flowing, I'll just say that. But just interacting with everybody was a blast. I had a really good time. I was kind of floating from table to table, just trying to really mingle and talk with everybody. And it was really nice to see how many people are actually coming together who essentially believe in that sense of community as well, as much as we do. We're trying to promote that, and that we were living it. If you missed out, please. Next time, I think we'll definitely try and take some pictures, because I don't remember taking really any. I was pretty half in the bag, and but I'd like to take some pictures and make this an annual thing.
I was thrilled with the turnout.
Good.
The turnout was wild.
Oh yeah.
So yourself,
Arthur, what do you like?
Seeing everyone and not trying to beat them at something, right?
Except trivia.
Except for trivia. Don't fuck around with trivia. But like just hanging out, right? Enjoying people who are my friends, my close friends, some people who I don't see enough. Like, all of us have mutual interests in things, and it's not just Warhammer, and it's really fun to discover all of those things. And seeing the girls come out, right?
Yeah.
That was really cool too. So that we're not just like this thing that's taking time away from them, but it's kind of like Olive Garden, when we're here, we're family.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's
it was
true.
Swanky like Olive Garden too, right?
Like
Absolutely. They didn't have nonstop breadsticks, but maybe next time.
For the right price.
Maybe, yeah. I know Molly said in terms of the trivia, she's like, you should have a wife trivia of like, hey ladies, how much did your man say this model cost? And I was like, no, I don't want to have trivia like that. I was like, that'll get everyone in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, at least a few people for sure.
Yeah.
We are thinking about mixing it up a little bit. Get some other trivia stuff in there too, though. Maybe some other different games too next year. But
Yeah.
like I said, that'll be something we can talk about next fall when the season rolls around again.
Absolutely.
I know there was a little bit of a discussion to do our favorite models from the year. I think let's do this though a little different. Let's make this a collaborative thing between the four of us, and let's go. I don't know. Let's do like there's four of us, so let's do like a top 12. So we'll go kind of in a one at a time, and let guys pick
3 each.
Let guys pick here. Yeah, everybody is going to get 3 picks, and we can kind of say models that got released this year. So if you come up with something from last year, I'm going to get so mad. But yeah, so let's and it could be any system. This doesn't have to be any particular Games Workshop or anything like that. So let's kick off. Let's put Andy on the spot.
Yeah,
Andy, give us a model from that was released this year that you think belongs in the starting lineup. Let's do it that way.
Now, hold on. What came out this year?
So much shit.
You're looking stuff up as we're talking, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give Andy a little bit of time in case.
Yeah. Was that new Tomb King character that came out just recently? I don't know his name, but he's riding the big bone dragon.
Yep. Arthur can fill us in on this one. Right?
I'm gonna say okay. The lion.
I think keep in mind. So we had for 40K we had the Arcs of Omen stuff in 9th.
Yeah.
Then
so
we've had
Backdoor and Friends,
Space Marines and Nids, and kind of now Necrons and Admech who've released. For Age of Sigmar, I don't know what the releases were this year. Arthur, do you got a rough idea?
Yeah, obviously the Flesh Eater Courts came out. They've done some of the Army of Renown stuff, so a couple models for each book. And then Seraphon came out, as well as Cities got their full release. So between those are the big things that kind of came out this year.
Yeah.
I believe it's the Necrolith Bone Dragon you're referring to there, Arthur or Andy.
Yeah, it was like a few months ago that they kind of released that, wasn't it?
Rick, that is a cool model.
Well, if you're struggling, Andy, here, I'll throw mine in here. Number 1, the coolest model GW released this year was Belthanos, the Age of Sigmar, reimagined like Kurnos Hunter. He's a representative of Kurnos. He's kind of a mix between your miniature Kurnoth Hunters, so they're like half treemen, and the full-size Ilariel and the Beetle, right? It's if you had the love child of those two things, that's about his size. And it's just a gorgeous model, and the way the GW painters did it, they nailed it.
Well, he's the guy riding the big beetle, right, or whatever. Yeah,
that's right.
So we'll make sure we got some links in the description to all this stuff we talk about here, folks. If you're not familiar with the models we're talking about.
Now, I actually think the Striking Scorpions were a miss, so they don't make my top 3, and there wasn't really a lot of other Eldar that came out to make that list, unfortunately. I do think the Farsight model was really nice. So that July miniature, I think he would maybe take a vote for me. And this might be a bit of a contentious one, but that plastic Cerastus Knight, I think is beautiful. I've always loved that Cerastus Knight. It's not a new model per se, but it is new in plastic. And if we're talking miniature of the year, I think it's not going to win, but it's in my top 3.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting.
I don't think Knights belong in 40K. I love the aesthetic. The Cerastus Knight is beautiful. I love the Cerastus chassis. They got that sleek sort of elegance thing. Maybe they're the Eldar of Knights. I don't know.
They look a little Wraith Knighty. Yeah, you're right.
So that really kind of gets me there.
Have you had a chance to think of any more there, Andy? Still kind of stewing on them?
Well, actually, for Bolt Action, the Jag Tiger came out this year, so
okay.
That was a pretty nice kit that came out. So that would put it up there for me. Yeah, I said the undead guy there, the
Necrolith.
Yeah, and of course, I said the lion that came out, right? The lion.
I think he'd probably be. I think he probably deserves a spot in our top 12. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there's
only the one with the helmet. His non-helmeted version, fucking dumpster tier.
Tywin Lannister needs to go.
I actually really like that head, to be honest with you. I think it looks really well done.
You know, when you see the miniature painted by other painters in the community online and whatnot, kind of changes it a little bit. I've seen some nice looking ones where they're not using the helmet, and like it's actually pretty good. But sometimes the paint job or the angle that GW throws out on you, it's kind of So
I think he has top.
I would probably put the helmet on him. So
yeah, I keep it off. Top tier facial hair on that guy. So
yeah.
Billy, you got some thoughts?
Yeah. So I've got 3 models. Coming in at, I'm gonna say, number 3 for me, anyways, would be my. It'd be Fulgrim from the new Ascended Fulgrim demon model. Really nice model.
Try transporting him.
Well, yeah, good luck with that. But as far as the model goes, fantastic. That thing looks amazing. I love the model. I hate the rules, but that's okay. The model is fantastic. I think they captured it. They banged it out well. Although I was a little upset that it wasn't in plastic. You know what? That just means hopefully it's coming out in plastic for when Emperor's Children get their big release later. Fingers crossed.
I guess we'll see.
My number 2 is those new True Scale Indominus Terminators. And not so much the Leviathan pack, but that standalone box that came out now. Those models are amazing. That new Indominus Terminator kit is it's fantastic. It captures the old style, the old feel, new scale, multi-piece. It's a pretty sweet kit. The functionality, just the options inside are insane.
I think
they knocked it out of the park.
Build things that kind of bring some nostalgia to you, some classic feeling. You get something that's going to resemble Win Your Heart, and they nailed that in the aesthetic of that model.
Absolutely. Just some of the posability and just the actual modeling options in there were top notch. Probably to date the best Terminator kit they've come out with. In all honesty, for me, best.
All order.
I know. Wait till you hear my number 1. So my number 1 top pick, believe it or not, is that Ashuran Mortarch of Delusion. That is the Flesh Eater Quartz Mad King. That model is insane. It's on my phone.
Not even out yet.
It's not even out yet, but they previewed it, and honestly, that model is nuts. When I saw that model, and then the new Flesh Eater Quartz, I don't play AoS, and I don't play Fantasy. I played that. I did that. That model alone makes me want to buy it, to paint it, and possibly play it. Because
a big, beefy vampire boy
just looks so cool. He's holding this beat to shit, kind of cool looking mace. He's got a crown of bone growing out of his head, and then just the cloak, and I don't know. That model to me just blew me away. Yeah. I honestly think the Flesh Eater Quartz from that preview stole the show for me.
Absolutely,
it's just amazing.
That's fair. I think.
I'm gonna retract. I'm gonna retract one of my choices. I think.
Oh.
I'm gonna keep this with the 40K. So let's get the bolt action out of the way. We all know we love tanks. Tyranid Norn Emissary.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Fair
that one hits the spot for me.
Another big beefy boy.
So. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I love it. I got 3. Mine are going to be in 40K. That's just where I am. I am a longtime believer that Fantasy's got some of the best, or AoS, I should say, has some of the best models around. I think you guys picked up on a couple of the best ones they released this year, though. The ones that caught my eye, anyway. I'm going to probably put, let's see here, in third, I'd say it's kind of hard to pick among the Tyranid models. I actually thought there were a lot of really good ones that got released. I do really like the Norn. I think actually I'm in the minority. I think the new Pyrovore and Byrovore models actually look really cool. Not a fan of how huge they are, but I do like them. But if I had to pick one that really strung out for me, it was the Neuro Tyrant. The Neuro Tyrant is a really, really cool Tyranid model, which I feel like is kind of exists in a design space that they haven't done a lot with. So yeah, it's a real cool model. I'd say he's in there. Another one, which is
the GW designer, just watched Starship Troopers and saw a brain bug and was like, "This is the thing."
He might have a little bit. Another one that came up, which is a little bit contentious as well, because I know some people didn't like it, but I think we gotta put it out there because I think it's amazing. Angron model. I think it's well captured. I actually think it's a really well captured model of what I think that should look like.
You think it'll win Mini of the Year if we're looking at like the best 12?
No, I don't think it'd get like. There's just some that are really have stood out to me, and again, AOS has some that I think would jump ahead of it. But also, I think that there's some smaller models. Like sometimes the big showpiece kind of centerpiece models take all the love, but one that is actually very recent that stood out to me that I'm like, wow, that is a model that's extremely well done and it captures the aesthetic well and it looks great. The Overlord with Translocation Shroud for Necrons that's coming out. That is just like, it's not a huge model that you're going to build an army around or whatever, but like if you're looking for a model that just says Necron to you and it's got nice lines and it looks real cool, that's it. And actually that might be my model of the year in my mind, or close to. Anyway, it's up there. It's definitely my favorite. So
I mean, you guys might agree with me, but is 40K taking it to like the next level with miniatures?
They are. They absolutely
have you noticed that? Like they're stepping up again?
Yep.
You know?
This year has been a big boost, yeah.
Except for that fucking AdMech model. That thing is dumpster tier.
He'd be my honorable mention. I love that.
I like that model. I really do.
I love that model.
You guys are wrong.
Well,
it's good to be wrong sometimes.
I don't want to be right.
One out of how many?
That'd be what I pick. So, like, if we were to correlate this list, we're not going to argue about it too much. I'd say we'd probably pick my picks at the top, and then we can do like Andy's picks, Bill's picks, Arthur's picks, roughly in order. So, if you're looking for a top 12, there you have it.
There you go.
So, between the Lion and Angron, which one of those two is going to win Mini of the Year? And why is it Angron?
Honestly, I think the Lion is better for me, anyways. Angron looks cool, but we had Bloodthirsters, so
if he does actually make it out this year, I'm not sure if he does or doesn't, but I actually would expect from like a GW, if they're awarding Mini of the Year, it's going to be Usharan. For sure.
Really?
Yeah.
It looks
for
so
sure.
Cool, man.
Yeah, that would be my pick. I'd say it's definitely going to be him. They like the whole Flesh Eater Quartz thing. Like that's a huge draw on the AOS side. The model is gorgeous. It's really well done. It's a model that people have wanted for a long time. It fills a role of a model that there wasn't a lot of other models quite like it. And it's just cool. I think if assuming he is a this year release, I think he gets it. And I don't want to say it's not close, but I definitely think it's not a huge competition either. So,
no, that's fair.
Fair enough.
That is fair.
That or they'll give it to like, I don't know, Infernus Marines.
Oh god.
Or something like that. Some sort of power armor that is like nice but doesn't really
jump
out of you.
Marines in like an Art of War top.
Yeah.
Like, have they made an impact on the game whatsoever at any point in time yet?
They're actually like tactically they're a cool unit. They're not like making it into a ton of competitive lists, but they definitely exist right on that cusp of where they could be usable but maybe aren't used a lot kind of thing, so
they just exist in case 308 mid Gaunts took off.
There was like a special release captain, wasn't there? Like a Space Marine captain, like a named one.
There was, from the Black Library series.
Messi or whatever, like he's in white armor. Like that guy will win from GW for sure. They can't help but give it to special Space Marine release or like limited release Space Marine captain. Yeah, for sure. It'll be that model. Easy peasy, done. Okay, jumping into next year.
Next year.
Geez.
I guess
Trident.
Well, it's going to be. I guess we could talk briefly a little bit because we're going to have an episode dropping in the new year about it. But if you haven't seen now, we are pairing up with Red Claw, Gamescon, and Play on Tabletop for Gamescom 2024 for their 40K narrative event. It's going to be 100 players. This is going to be in June. It's over the Father's Day long weekend. I can't remember the dates. I want to say it's 14th, 15th, but don't quote me yet. I don't have a calendar in front of me. I'm just picking numbers out of the top of my head. That's going to be really cool. In the new year, we're actually expanding the Trident Terrain collection by another 20 tables in preparation for this actual event. So we're going to have a mega slew of terrain available for us in going forward for events where we'll be able to run 80 plus players, no problem. And then the nice thing about it's going to all be in-house with mats, full tables, like everything that we need we're going to have, which is pretty amazing. I actually never thought it would get that high that fast, but I'm super stoked for it.
It is really cool. The Trident terrain bin will be expanding massively, and so will our ability to host events for you guys. And it's actually not just this event, the narrative event in June with Gamescom is a 40K event, but it's not just 40K. We are, of course, diving deep into Age of Sigmar now. Arthur can fill you guys in on that if you want to bug him about it at the events. Our first event is in February, but man, it is just the tip of the iceberg. We will be expanding our Age of Sigmar set as well to kind of get them working towards being able to do GTs. And the 40K collection, as Bill said, is going to be jumping up. We're going to push towards being able to do three figures worth of players at events this year. And the Gamescom event is just where we're starting with that, partnering with them in Red Claw in June to bring you guys this big narrative event, which ran last year in Calgary. I'm sure some of you who are listening actually maybe even were at it. It was a big success, but they are doing it here in Edmonton this year, and we are the TOs. We are the stewards of your guys' event. So we're super excited about that, and we're super excited to get some of our new stuff onto tables too, where you guys will be able to see it. Unfortunately, it won't be as early as January when our next event is, but certainly by February or March, we'll hopefully be able to show off some of this stuff for you guys. February for the Age of Sigmar train, especially, actually.
Yeah, that's true. And a nice word about the AoS front. We're going to be working hard to make sure the terrain quality and the overall event quality that you've come to expect from Trident is still going to continue on into Age of Sigmar. We pride ourselves on having the best terrain around, and we want to continue that. We're going to really push hard to keep that going into Age of Sigmar. So that's what you can look forward to. That's kind of our mission statement. Not only host events, but the best.
So we want to create an experience for an event that we want to go to, that we want to be excited about, that we want to leave and say, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That is literally our metric for anybody who's ever wondering. With Trident events, is we ask ourselves, what do we want? When we go to lots of events, individually, sometimes as groups, and we always come back with things that we love, and we're trying to distill some of that stuff into our own makeup for how we do things, what we look for. So that's kind of the goal. But it's gonna ramp up a lot this year.
It's gonna take some work, but in the end, we love it when we hear the positive comments and whatnot about our events and
frankly, the negative ones too. Yeah. The negative ones too. If you have complaints, you see things you want us to do better. That we love that too. To be honest with you, I mean, Arthur can be a little bit more defensive. He immediately drops the gloves and starts swinging. No, I'm kidding.
I'll fight you.
But no, honestly, we are actually always looking for the feedback. So Gamescom is the big start next year in June, but it will not be the only large event that we host next year. And of course, there'll be more information about that down the pipe.
That's true.
But that is the big one right now. It is a narrative event. There will be a pack fork coming out not too far from now. We are gearing up to get ready for that. So
it's true. Yeah. However,
there are some events that you can sign up for today.
This is true.
Okay, our next event is the LVO. No, the LVO can't go.
Yeah.
The LVO, I wish I was there, but we're going to have something better made by Trident. I couldn't make it rhyme, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's January 13th coming up here.
Yeah, 13th or 14th. Be a
second
2-day
weekend in
event.
January.
Yeah.
It's a GT.
And the spirit of this one is that we're trying to make it as close as possible to an LVO experience. This isn't Vegas. We don't have slots. We don't have dealers giving you a hand or anything like that. But we
Take
do
my
have
shirt
their
off
player
if you want, though.
their events. Everything is supposed to be as competitive and in the same spirit as that LVO event.
Yes.
Yeah,
So we will be running LVO's missions. We are using the same terrain rules they're using. Obviously, the ITC FAQ, all their rulings and stuff. I know our TOs are poring over those as we speak. They've been studying them day and night, so they're all up on that. So yeah, it'll be very much the LVO as much as we can give it to you within 5 games on a Saturday and a Sunday in a bar in St. Albert. That is the goal.
Yeah.
If you tip Bill enough, he might even take his shirt off.
You might.
I might.
You might.
I might. If you buy enough purple people leaders, it's almost guaranteed.
Yeah. So, which is actually, like, if you've been to Vegas with Bill, you will know that is an authentic Vegas experience. So, there you have that. Then in February, we kick off with our inaugural, very first Gold Star, Triple Platinum, amazing Age of Sigmar event, the Hammerhal Brawl. This will be our virgin voyage as far as Age of Sigmar goes, but certainly won't be our last. That, I believe, is already sold out.
That is
right?
sold out.
So there is a wait list on that. If you are still interested, feel free to jump on it. We do have people drop out. That's just the nature of events. Maybe you get in there. But even if you don't, you're free to come hang out, check it out, see some AoS happening, get a look at how we do Age of Sigmar terrain, see some interest there, and we'll be looking to grow for that down the line. Then finally in March or April?
March.
Adepticant?
March.
Yeah,
Adepticant.
March. Late March, I believe.
March 23rd, I believe.
We'll be doing Adepticant, which is literally going to be the exact same kind of thing as with LVO, except for Adepticon. We'll again be trying to bring a relatively authentic experience to you guys. We don't have a pack or anything for that just yet. It's a little bit too far down. That is one thing I've never been to an Adepticon, but I have heard negative things said about their tables. Can't speak to it personally, but we can guarantee you that we will be looking to provide good tables regardless. So that'll also be an event, 40K event in March. And then I know we have some little stuff that we're kind of battening around a little bit here and there for maybe early in the year with some other systems, but kind of stuff is still in the planning stages. We will, of course, let you guys know. We will be running our 40K league, just, the standard 40K Edmonton Warhammer League. That's kicking off in January. So we got a page up for that. If you're interested, signups will be opening up right away. Get interested in that if you want to play that. And we also, of course, have the Badab League campaign running from January through April. And there's still a little bit of room in that. I think we're a little bit later on the secessionist side, right, Bill?
Yeah, we're down by about 2 comparatively. Comparing us to the loyalists, it's 11-9 right now, so not bad though.
So if you're a Marine player, or especially with the secessionists, there is room for Chaos Space Marine players, World Eaters, Death Guard. There is room for Imperial Guard players on either team. There is room for Knight players on either team. So if you are interested, you can still hop in on that. We've got a page going, and you can, the links will be available for you guys to go check out the players pack and stuff. So we really do have a lot going on there. And then, of course, as we drift into the second quarter of 2024, we will be having, April and May events, and of course the big one in June with the narrative Gamescom event. And then, of course, summertime hits, and we cannot even explain all the stuff that we'll be having going on. And then, of course, into the later year.
For legal
for legal reasons, the non-disclosure agreements. We can say, I think, like I said at the start of this event, or at the start of this podcast, we genuinely had more stuff going on last year than ever before. It was a busy year, especially through kind of the June through October stretch. We really got lots of stuff going on. I was really happy to see, we had almost nothing this year that didn't sell out or meet, expectations of what we wanted from it. So the community response has been spectacular. which is awesome. And we're hoping to kind of keep bringing quality stuff to you guys and having you guys respond well to it. I know one thing we have kind of battered around a little bit, which might be coming maybe middle or late next year. We would love to run a team event. Team events are amazing, and we'd love to get in on that and be able to bring that to you along with our usual RTTs and leagues and a couple of GTs and, of course, some bigger stuff this year, scale size. As busy as this year was, I expect that we will be just as busy in 2024.
I suspect you were right. I think that'll
busier if they release Battlefleet Gothic.
Oh no!
Gnarly. Yeah, that would be busy.
Yes.
I'd quit my job.
Yeah, if Gothic comes out, unfortunately, what will end up happening is all the other events will be canceled, as well as the leagues and everything, and instead we'll run weekly events for Battlefleet Gothic.
Yeah.
As well as campaigns, leagues, and presumably counseling.
It's true.
I'll help you refund your mortgages.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I know Bill and Andy and Arthur, you guys can chime in on this. I know we're also looking to make some adjustments and some changes to the manner that or the media that we're using to reach you guys in the new year.
That is true. So currently, we're putting out podcasts. They are weekly right now. In the new year, we're going to be slowing down to 2 a month, and we'll kind of get the release schedule out for that, just so you can still expect consistent content. But we want to kind of pull back on the podcast portion so we can actually start investing more into the YouTube actual media. Myself, I know I'm really looking at trying to capture some modeling masterclass or streaming type ventures. It's going to be a little bit of an experiment to see kind of what works and what doesn't. But I know we've been really mulling about going live on YouTube with episodes, kind of having more of an interaction type thing. I know Arthur's been throwing around even doing painting stuff. We just really want to share the hobby itself. We've been in it for a really long time, and you can YouTube a bunch of stuff and get information from the very basic of going into just straight up dry brushing all the way to doing non-metal metal and everything in between. And we want to capture some of those as well with our skill set, because again, we have the experience. We're coming from decades of playing this game, and I feel we can add some really valuable stuff to it.
Yeah, I think going forward, looking at getting back to the roots of the hobby and gaming as well. I do enjoy doing some videos and whatnot of this is how I painted my army and sharing that with you guys. We get a lot of that. We get a lot of people asking, what's your recipe for your Mantis Warriors, or what's your recipe, or how did you do the chipping?
Green.
Yeah. There you go. Stuff like that, right? Or showing videos of unboxing, new kits that have come out that we can get our hands on. Sprune reviews, stuff like that. Just more content that we can share with you guys on YouTube and kind of go through that adventure, that we get to go through that you guys can join in on. So, anywhere from scratch built buildings that we're using for AoS, that kind of thing, just to, unboxing videos, new kits, that kind of stuff. So, and then of course, any other, topics throughout the wargaming in general, which we'd love to share with you guys and see what you guys think about as well. So it's kind of the idea behind it. And I'm sure that we'll have a lot of fun experiences with it too. So
well, and I know there's been also talk and some discussions about doing some streaming stuff, some bat rep kind of stuff. That, of course, is something that we've been looking at and keeping our eye on the market to be able to pick up some hardware as far as that kind of stuff goes, and work on our video editing skills and things. We would love for you guys who are listening to be able to get us some feedback to us about what specifically you want. Because as much as we want to be breaking into stuff and doing stuff, realistically, when we're talking about producing media for you guys for content, it's got to be not just what we want, but what you want. So whilst doing some battle reps sounds like a lot of fun, we also know that there's a lot of battle reps out there, and maybe you guys have that base covered, or maybe you guys want specific types. Maybe your specific games, whether it's bolt action, 40k, AoS, shorter videos, longer videos. Streaming, are you guys interested in some more live stuff, some more unscripted stuff, some more uncut stuff, perhaps? What kind of things are you looking for there? And that also goes into the modeling side, like as Andy was talking about. I know I love the unboxing stuff. I love that kind of thing. I love talking about sprues and assembly stuff. Lots more people are more into the modeling or the painting stuff. But are you more interested in like start to finish? Are you worried about specific techniques? Some of the more finicky stuff that you can't really find a lot of people who do it. Are you looking for squad level painting or model level stuff? We want to hear from you guys about that, because all of this stuff is stuff that one or more of us are interested in doing. But whether or not we take the dive has a lot to do with just what you guys want. So definitely hit us up, not just in the comments, but also reach out through a billion different types of social media, on the pages, in our emails, in our DMs, in our mailboxes outside our houses, whispering to us in our sleep, all of those things. Please do reach out, because we do want to shake things up a bit. We do want to get new stuff, but we want a little bit of feedback too.
Absolutely.
When Arthur gets the bug to get painting again, like it's kind of like watching, like, I imagine those people who get to see like the phosphorescent fish and algae and stuff when they're out on the ocean. It's like this once in a lifetime sort of thing. That's how Arthur is when he gets the bug to start painting, which I know he's telling us he doesn't have right now. But when he does, Arthur could basically give you 6 months worth of content in a week. So before that happens, we need to know what we're going to be filming him for, because we can't film him the whole time. There's some really weird stuff that goes on. Some of it's not good to share on the internet. So
it's questionable paint medium and everything.
But what we do need to, you don't want to know how he mixes his
mucus
paints.
membrane. Hold it a spit.
He's a brush licker. He's a brush licker. Anyhow, so that we are going to be shaking things up a little bit, but we do want kind of some input as well from you guys about what you want to see while we're going through that kind of shift in our priorities about how we do our media. So please do reach out to us.
Absolutely. And I do know there will be also a shift in focus for the Patreon program. We're going to be giving like early bird ticket sales to patrons. We're going to be, because most of our guys are actually local, we're going to be trying to give some discounts on our products that we have for sale, which are actually coming out in other spaces as well, but that'll be a New Year's tidbit. There's just, we want to provide more value always. Whenever we get money, be it from events or with Patreon program, anywhere, it's trying to provide best value. So we want to realign our values with that and just push forward and try and make it a little bit better, evolve what we're doing. And that's really the biggest thing for me. And the nice thing is like 2024, there's a ton of events coming, and not only will you see us hosting events, but I know we're ramping up for busting out those new Trident jerseys. We've got team jerseys we're going to be rolling out with, and you're going to see us playing at events. So,
are you drinking whiskey with a straw out of a
bottle? Yeah, it looks awesome.
Well, it's year end. We're all partying, right?
We're doing something, yeah. I still work for another day, so.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah, woo!
Scotty Grass comes early.
Scotty Grass, that's right. Awesome. And yeah, just a big thanks to all our listeners, all our supporters throughout this year and previous years. It's been amazing to have all the engagement. We do appreciate the engagement on all of our socials. Keep it up. And obviously a big thank you to our patrons. We've got Frederick, Chris, Dustin, and Tyler. You guys help us keep rolling on. Sorry?
Before we bounce out for the year, to keep in with what we did last year, and I know that you guys especially will probably be posting some of this stuff on the socials or whatnot, but let me just grab it right here, right now. Each of you give me a top three hobby or game-related goals you have for 2024. We're going to start with Billy. We're going to put Billy on the spot.
2024 goals.
Just three. Give me a top three.
Top three. Executioners fully painted, ready for tables, ready for events, ready for Betab. That's happening for sure.
Yep.
I am going to get that Reaver built. That Reaver will happen. I will make it happen. That's going to be a big
2024.
goal of mine. 2024.
Year of the Reaver.
And another one, eh? Goodness. I will. It's going to be a lofty goal, but I'm going to try and take first at least one event, be it an RTT or something. My goal is to try and take top.
He's pulling a best gen. He wants a best general. He's not quantifying it any other way. He wants a best gen trophy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going to be in 40K.
Probably.
We'll see.
We'll try.
Andy?
Assemble and paint my Mantis Warriors.
Okay.
Also, the Nurgle Glotkin army I have. I want to get those two armies done.
Gooey.
And then getting more games of both of those systems. Including some tournament play.
Give us a ballpark here. What does more mean? Is that once a
more
month?
Than what I'm doing now?
Once every twice a month?
At least once or twice a week.
Okay. So, all right. Wow. All right. Okay, that's high bar, but I believe in Andy. So Arthur?
I want to beat Billy at a tournament and make him not get first place.
You fucker.
Whoa. Is that general or painted?
Oh, yeah.
Both. Either or. I want to, really give him the one.
In Horse Heresy.
Fucking, Billy, pick a system, bud. Let's do it.
Horse Heresy.
Not Betab.
Anytime, any place.
Anytime,
any place.
Betab, yeah. I love it.
I want to enter into a non-traditional painting competition that's not just like an RTT and win something meaningful. So I'm talking like a GT level something.
Or just
I want to win a best sport. So not on my radar this year is a best general other than beating Bill for it. I'd like to go for the soft hobby awards. I want to win a meaningful best painted to put amongst the shrine that I stare at night, maybe to give me motivation one day. And I want to beat Billy in a tournament.
You want to be a man of the people.
Man of the people.
That's good.
All right.
Pocket full of candy and everything.
That's a meaningful goal right there. I actually kind of like that one. I like that one a lot. What do I want to do this year?
I got a third one. I want to beat Scott at a tournament.
You've already beaten me in a tournament.
Without Busted Eldar. I want to beat him where we are on an even footing for matchups. Or even one where he's playing AdMech that have like a 33% win rate. And I want to take a W.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, I feel like you've already done this. But if you believe you haven't, that's fine. Keep chasing that dragon. For sure. In much the same vein, it seems like a lot of yours are. It's funny because your goals are focused around like being a good guy in the community, getting lots of cool stuff, and also destroying my friends. So
what
those are
friends
nice.
For? If not,
that's. I'm going to point out he's not going after you, Andy. Maybe you need to.
We have to revise the goals. I want to complete the Trident Wargaming circuit where I beat each of you at a game of your choice.
Ooh. I like that.
In a tournament.
That's
not
great.
Betab, not Heresy.
So tune in next month, everyone, for the live stream of
you're on for an eating competition.
Me and Arthur going at it. StarCraft 2. No rules. We're just gonna absolutely blitz this. After which he will then have an eating contest with Andy. Yeah. Dairy only.
Circling Rush. Let's go.
Dairy only.
Well, if Andy's
Cheesecake,
noticed
here we
that,
come.
well, I can keep going.
Cheesecake, here we come.
Oh,
he's gonna beat Ryan at a rules contest. He's gonna have
Aiden being beautiful.
he's just gonna cover the whole Trident group.
I love it.
Okay. For me, I do have a few. So one, this is the one that's gonna hurt me the most. I am going to finally rebase my race. I'm gonna have all my armies on proper base sizes, which I will never stop bitching about, but I will do it. They will all be correct, right down to the model.
Ryan, you heard it here first. He is encouraging base checks.
He's that's not what I said.
Special GW bases.
But if I was base checked, it would all be fine. I promise.
Can
so
I ask you one question about that? Will they be painted?
Oh, of course.
Bases unpainted, heads unbowed.
They'll all be painted except for that one that I keep in there just for Arthur. That's actually how Arthur will beat me at the tournament. It'll be found out I'm not battle ready because one of the bases won't be painted. And,
oh god,
that'll be the Achilles heel there. What else do we want to do? My second goal. So this is a bit. I want to get a big, like one of the really big, super cool centerpiece models, and I want to get it painted up. I'm telling you right now, it's probably not going to be for an army that I actually play, like a full army, because a lot of mine don't have that. I do have the Silent King. He is a guy who I've got sitting around that I look at. He's actually table ready now, but there's some work I want to do on him. But I don't know if it'll be him. I want it to be another model. I've got my eye on a few, so maybe check that out. Keep your eyes on that. Watch the pages, because eventually I'm going to pull the trigger on somebody. But I got multiple guys on the go right now. But it's going to be a big centerpiece model. Might be 40k, might be AoS. Who knows? Maybe it's BattleTech. We'll see. Maybe it's Bill's Reaver Titan. Who knows? It could be anybody. It could be body paint for Arthur. But it's going to be something big. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen this year. And then the biggest goal I have this year, actually, does not have to do with me painting or playing anything. In fact, it has to be with me enabling you to paint and play something. And that is that I want to TO a great big event this year. I want to put on the best event in the city this year. I want to run, I want to TO, I want to boss around, and I want to make that happen. I don't know what event it'll be. I'm hoping to do several. And I guess at the end of the year, this will be a hard one to say whether I did or I didn't. Ultimately, because it won't be up to me, it won't be up to you guys. It'll just be one of those things that kind of, I guess, the people who are listening at the end of 2024 will be able to ask themselves when they think of the games they played that year is, what was the best event I went to this year? And if it was an event that I was running, I'll count that as a win. But it's a goal that I had this year to run bigger events, better events, and to provide from a organizing standpoint for people just the best experience possible. So that's where my biggest focus is going to be.
Awesome. Those are solid goals.
Good.
And let's pull up the curtain on 2024 and see how she rolls out.
Hell yeah. Well, I guess shit. Yeah. No, that's going to be great. I'm looking forward to 2024. Looking forward to everything that we have coming down the pipe.
There's so much.
I know it's going to be crazy. It really will.
We're gonna
be
crazy.
We're
We're gonna
when I
be
start
super
thinking
busy.
about it. When I start thinking about it, I get hives. It's scary, but it's also awesome. So
absolutely. Well, I guess.
But yeah.
That said, that's a wrap.
Yeah. That's a wrap on 2023. Thank you, everybody who came out to our events this year, just hung out. Thanks to everybody who came out and just talked to us this year. New people we met, not just at our stuff, at everybody's stuff. Events we went to, places we went, random places on the street. That one guy who saw me at Nate and was like, yo, what's up? And I was like, cool, whatever. That dude who came up in the bathroom and was like, hey, nice watch. Everything. Everybody we met and saw this year, thank you all to you guys. I hope you guys had an amazing 2023.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess we'll see you next year.
Happy New Year.
Did you plug the Patreon? We need to plug the Patreon.